Hey guys, it's Karen and it is time to make the bread. I am just going to put this on here live, just let it sit for a few minutes and wait for some people to get on. We are going to be baking the breads this morning, and I'm going to show you how to, put my apron on, how to make some specialty butters too. I already have my first bread in the oven. Just so that we're able to, it takes about 45 minutes to bake once you've preheated your oven, and then also put the pot in there for a half an hour. So I figured I probably wouldn't be on here for 45 minutes, so I'm in the process of baking one, which I'm gonna take the lid off in a few minutes here, and then we'll have another 15 minutes to bake that one. So just on here, just kind of waiting for some people to get on, and we'll go live. Let me know if you guys jump on so I know that you're here. Hi Ron, hi Angela. We're just kind of waiting for some people to get on. I went ahead and put one bread in the oven already, just because it takes 45 minutes to bake, and I highly doubt that I'll be on here for 45 minutes, so that way you can kind of see them in stages. Hi Glenda. All right, as you guys pop on, just say hi so I know you're here. That'd be awesome. Just waiting for a few more people to get on. I've got one bread in the oven already in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. I do need to take the lid off. We're baking bread this morning. What you do is you turn your oven on, you preheat it to 450. Once it preheats to 450, you put your cast iron Dutch oven in the oven with the lid empty, and you heat it for a half an hour on 450 to get it nice and hot. Once your timer goes off for that half an hour, then you remove the lid, you put the bread in the pot, just drop it in the pot, put the lid back on, and then you bake it for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, the buzzer will go off, you take the lid off, and then you bake it for another 15. So in a couple minutes here, I'm just gonna take the lid off my first one so that we can kind of see it in stages. All right, guys. Just gonna give it a couple more minutes. How's everyone doing this morning? Did you get a good night's sleep? I was out. I watched my video. Oh, speaking of that, and I'll mention this again. Last night, one of my questions to everyone, because this is all new to me, was can I go Facebook Live? And then I know that when I finish, it allows me to upload to Facebook, but I didn't know if I could download it and save it, because I've never done that before. I've always just uploaded it. Well, after I was done last night, when I turned it off, there was a download button, so I downloaded it. Do I have any clue as to where it went? Yeah, no. So, went to bed, woke up this morning, I thought, oh, I'm gonna look for that. So I got on my Samsung phone and just started going through, like Samsung's weird. I'm so used to iPhone. Found a folder kind of on the back wall, not my home screen, but you have like all these folders on a back wall, and it said Samsung. So I went in there and it said, I want to believe it said uploads. And so I clicked on it and it had camera uploads and video uploads. And so, hold on, I'm going to go take the lid off this first one. All right, so, sorry, I had to take the lid off my first, and it is looking good. Hey, if you guys pop on here, just give a quick hi, a wave, let me know you're on here. Anyways, I found a folder with uploads in it, and it was there, and it allowed me to share. So one of the share buttons said YouTube, so I clicked YouTube. Do I even know if I have a YouTube channel? I guess I do. Because when I clicked YouTube, it sent it to my YouTube. Do I have any subscribers? As of this morning, I now have 2, because I posted a link on my Facebook. So if you guys would click on that link, it's a picture of Jasmine's graduation. She graduated, gosh, I don't even know how many years ago now. 4, 5, I don't know what year she graduated. Anyways, that's when I had the YouTube channel, never put anything on it. So it has a picture of Jasmine, Larry, and I from her graduation. I will be changing that. I'm going to try to change the name. Instead of having Karen Throckmorton on it, I'll try to change the name to the Gourmet Paparazzi. So it's just something I'm working on. And then Josh McNally told me last night on the video that I can video from YouTube. My thing was that I like to do it on Facebook because I can interact with you guys. Hi, Sue. I can interact with you guys and answer questions, but he told me you can also interact on live YouTube. So if you guys want to jump on over to my Facebook, click on that link, subscribe. That's where I'll be posting all my videos. And I promise you guys I'll get better at this. Like I said, I'm just winging this. This is, you know, just live Facebook. Anyway, so that's about it. So I guess let's get going. Time is it? 10:05. Okay. So last night I did a video of making bread dough, and we let it rise. You can rise from 12 to 18 hours. So I let it rise. I already have one in the oven, simply because it's going to take 45 minutes to bake. And I figure you guys are not going to be here for 45 minutes. Anyways, all right, so. Hey, Brooke Overby. Hey, Carmen. Hey, Penny. All right, so this is what it looks like after it raised. Okay, this is the cranberry orange almond one, and you can add anything you want to your breads. You can do a cinnamon raisin, you can do a Gruyere with garlic, whatever kind of flavor you can. And you can even Google ideas. Hey, Patty did something. I can't read the comments, but Patty made her bread and she's already baked it this morning because she has to go deliver. She has a fancy treats and sweets, fancy sweets and fancy treats, something like that. She does apple crisp. Anyways, she had a delivery, so she baked hers early. So this is what it's looked like after it's raised. I already took the plain one that I made last night, and it's already in the oven. It actually has 11 minutes left, so you'll be able to see a finished product. Okay, so taking the saran wrap off. Well, Larry said, hide your trash, because when you move, you can see the trash. Put it in the bathroom. So now I'm looking for the trash, and it's in the bathroom. Anyways, okay, so took the plastic off. That's what it looks like. It is sticky, okay, especially the plain one. So you want to put some flour on your counter. Hope you guys can see this. It looks like I need to maybe move my camera down a little bit. Let me try something. That might be too much, but let's see. I feel like you need to see more of the counter. Yeah, you got more of the counter, I think. I had less of my head, but that's okay. All right, so you're gonna put some flour, generously put some flour on the counter, okay? And then you're gonna take and scrape this, and if you can see, it's sticky. It's gonna start sticking to you, so I just kind of put some flour in my hands and just kind of dump it out until there. Okay, so that's what the bowl looks like, kind of clean. All right, so then you're just going to roll it around in the flour a little bit, and you're going to make sure you can see that. There's a lag. I'm watching my laptop over here, and I'm still sprinkling flour over here, so I was trying to make sure, because all I see is comments up there on the bottom half. All right, so put that in a ball. Okay, I'm going to kind of shake off some of that extra flour. See, Patty, this one looks nice and thick. Patty did hers already. My first one, it was, I don't know if it's because I used the unbleached flour. She used the bleach all-purpose flour, and I used unbleached. It doesn't really matter. We talked about that last night, just about the differences in them. You can use both. The unbleached is supposed to be more dense, but I don't feel like mine's looked more dense than Patty's picture. You can look at her picture on Facebook. All right, so what you do is, prior to all this, you have turned on your oven to the 450 degrees. You've preheated it. When it gets to 450, you turn on a timer and you put your pot in with the lid empty for 30 minutes, okay? And then while you're doing that, then this is when you do this and you set it aside for a little bit. So I'm not gonna set it aside very long because I've already started my oven. My trash. And so, like I said, I've already got one bread in there. I'm gonna clean this up real quick. So that normally will sit a little bit longer while you're prepping your 30 minutes on your oven, but it looks pretty, the density of it looks pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in here in a minute. So that way maybe you'll be able to see it after I make the butters. It might be done. All right, let me just clean all this flour up and then we'll put that one in the oven real quick. Hey, Ron says, looks good. Yeah, this is my favorite one, is the one. I've only tried these flavors ever, just plain and the cranberry orange almond one. But I need to try and figure out some other flavors. Maybe try cinnamon raisin one. That kind of sounds good. I need to get more creative, don't I? All right, so let's just dry this off real quick. My other one has got 7 minutes and 41 seconds left. Gosh, I hate not having a trash can. I need to just put it next to me. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys real quick. These pots are extremely hot, okay? Make sure that I normally just pull the rack out and then take the lid off with the pot holder and then get my bread and dump it in. Right in the oven. But you gotta be careful. Like I said, just when you pull that rack out, those pots are heavy, especially if you're making 2 or 3 at one time. So be super careful. Today, for you guys to see, I'm gonna actually pull the pot out and put it on the counter. Be super careful. I've heard of some people in our neighborhood that have posted that their counters have cracked. It's granite, but they get super hot. So be careful. All right, so I'm gonna kind of be ready with this bread already. Kind of get it unwrapped. Okay. While I'm in here, I'm gonna give you a peek of my other bread real quick, if you can see that. It's got 7 minutes left. All right, here's my pot. It used to be a lime green color, but it is so hot. I try to put that in the sink. You can hear it sizzling. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take this bread out. And on my other one, I tried something different today. I split the top. I just took it and I did just a cut across the top like this. And a cut across the top like that. And it's kind of cool because it made a little design. And then I just sprinkle a little flour over it. I just put a little flour. Kind of being careful, I do this in front of you, but this pot's super hot. Then you're just gonna drop it in there. That's it, okay? We're gonna cover it, and we're gonna put it back in the oven. All right, we're gonna set a timer for 30 minutes, which I'm not gonna do right now because I still have 5 minutes on my other bread. So when my other bread comes out, I will put it on. I wanna go to the trash all the time. It's driving me nuts. Hold on. I am bringing the trash back out. We won't have to see it over here. There we go. Anyways, I've got my bread in there for 5 minutes. Once that one comes out, I'll set a timer for 25 minutes for the other bread. Okay. Let's make some butter. All right. So I just get a bowl, okay? And the first one, let's make the cranberry orange, okay? So I don't ever measure, okay? I did post some recipes Hey, Abby. I did post some recipes on an earlier post. It's the one that has all the pots that says this is what you'll need. Some different ones, but I mean, those are just examples to follow. I usually just wing it and put whatever I want in. I always put, well, I guess depending upon what it is, I like vanilla in my butters, and I like to add some salt. We had a little discussion about adding salt or unsalted last night to recipes, and I add salt. My friend Patty, who is a baker, does not add salt because she likes to control the salt. So I always salt everything. Okay, so you want it at room temperature, but it is kind of cold in the house, so it's kind of solid. You do not want to melt it. So I'm gonna throw that in the microwave for a second and keep an eye on it. I just want to soften it up a little bit, but do not melt it, just make it pliable. Alright, you don't want it liquid, so see the consistency? I'm able to still stir it and it's still kind of solid, but I'm able to mix things in, okay? So that's the butter. Let's put that, let's see. I'm still standing at the microwave on my computer, so I'm trying to make sure that y'all can see that. Alright, so we're gonna do the cranberry orange peel. Last night, if you saw my video, I talked about orange peel. This is, make sure you can read that. This is orange peel, okay? You can buy it at Walmart. And the Walmart one consistency is kind of thin, okay? If you live in Kansas City or probably some other places, you can buy it. We have a place called Planters and they sell it bulk, okay? In like a little bit, they have spices like down in River Market. Oh, it's so awesome. Buy everything bulk. So this I buy in a bag, and this is orange peel too. But do you see how thick that is? Now, orange peel dried is extremely hard, and I explained this last night that if you're making guacamole, and when you cut that avocado, you want to make sure you take that little stem out, because if that gets in your guacamole and you bite down, you're going to break it too. Same thing with this, okay? You put this in your butter. You have to let the butter sit overnight so that orange peel softens up, okay? So what I usually do is I make my dough at night, because you have to let it sit overnight. I make my butters at night, because then that way when the bread comes out, we can have this ready, okay? So for purposes today, I'm not gonna use that one. I'm gonna use this one. Now, this recipe I just kind of made up. There was a Mexican restaurant, like I said last night, in Newport Beach, California, that made homemade tortillas, and they served it with a honey orange butter. Okay, so I just wing it, all right? Sprinkle it in there, because you know it's gonna hydrate, and it's, you know, Shannon asked me last night, can you hydrate it in water? I probably wouldn't. Just make it the night before, okay? So, and this really is more to a taste, so I'm going to sprinkle about that much on there. I always add a touch of salt, okay, and that brings out the flavor. And it's already salted butter, but I already told you I like salt. I also add to the honey orange one, I add just a touch of vanilla, because vanilla makes everything taste better, right? I'm gonna add a little more orange because you want a pretty orangey flavor. Now, you can grate an orange and use real rind if you want. You probably have to use pretty much of it to get the flavor. Honey, same thing. I'm just going to add some honey for the sweetness. Make that honey orange butter. Okay, so we're just gonna stir this all together. And like I said, like on this orange one, this one you won't have to wait as long as the other orange rind that I have, other orange peel. That stuff is thick, okay? Anybody have any questions so far? Hey, Evelyn. Hey, Robin. Kind of looking over here to see. Hi, Stephanie. All right, so we are making orange honey butter right now, and we've got I got 7 seconds left on my bread coming out of the oven, so I'm going to go ahead and pull it out right now. There it is. So you guys can see the one I've already baked, and then we have another one in. So I'm going to set my timer for the 25 minutes for the one that I put in 5 minutes ago. And we're going to take this one out. All right. So remember what I was saying, how these pots are super hot. Okay, so basically I just took that out of the oven. It's very hot, but there's my bread. Okay, so I'm going to put that on the cooling rack over here for a second and figure out what to do with this pot. Like I said, it's super hot. I'm going to put it in the sink. All right, so let's pull that back over here. All right. So there's your bread straight out of the oven. Remember I said I kind of cut the top and gave it a little look, kind of a little, and then sprinkled some flour on it. But we'll cut that here in a little bit. I'm just gonna set it aside on a cooling rack over there, and we'll get back to our butters. How much orange rind would you use? Ugh, I don't know. I kind of, Ron asked that just now. Gosh, maybe, I don't know, I just sprinkle it, and it's really to a taste thing. Maybe, I don't know, what do you think I sprinkled in? 2 tablespoons maybe? Anyways, all right, so I'm gonna taste this real quick. Yeah, that's the bad thing about this, Ron, is I don't measure, I just make. It's all in my head. You can taste that honey in there. Tastes so good. Like I said, the orange is going to take some time to get the flavor. Right now it's kind of a weird texture because it hasn't hydrated. All right, so if you go back and watch this, Ron, you kind of see to the 2 sticks how much I sprinkled in there. All right, so there's my orange honey butter. Okay, so what I was saying last night is what I do is I will make them, especially around the holidays, and I'll put them in little jars. And then you can, you know, how they decorate the little tops, and you can put material in a ribbon, but you can give them away as gifts. So this is how I store them in my fridge. Anyways, then you can kind of clean it up. Clean up the edges a little bit. And that makes for a nice Christmas gift. You can bake somebody some bread, bring them some bread, bring them some homemade butter. What I used to do is I would take the bread, and I have a roll of brown paper, like butcher paper, and I would lay it down, cut it, put the bread in the middle, put the sides up, which it doesn't actually go around it, and then tie it with twine, and then I would give an orange or any kind of flavored butter with bread wrapped, real rustic looking, with the twine and the paper. All right, so I'm just gonna clean this up real quick because I'm gonna just set it to the side. I was just kind of showing you what I do with it. Let me wash this real quick, and we'll move to the next butter. All right, everybody hanging in there? Anybody have any questions? I haven't looked. Hey, Kevin. Hey, Ken. All right, so our bread is in the oven. We've got another 20 minutes before I have to take the cover off and then bake it with the cover off for another 15. We've already I made the first bread, and it's come out. It's cooled down a little bit, so I can actually bring it a little closer now. But that is just a plain bread. And when we cut into that, there's the bottom. Oh my gosh, it's so good. And then we're making really good butters for it. Okay, so let's make the next one, we're gonna do a cranberry orange, and let's put some honey in there, some salt, and some vanilla on that one, okay? So we're gonna take room softened butter, but like I said, it's still a little cool in the house. So room softened is still a little hard to work with, so I'm gonna throw it in the microwave just for a couple seconds. You don't want to melt it. If you melt it, let it harden back up before you make it, okay? All right, so let me just put this for a couple seconds in the microwave. We've got 19 minutes on that other bread. Anybody have any questions yet? I'm looking at my computer here on the side just to see. You guys still with me? All right, a couple seconds in the microwave. Got that soft consistency. I did probably do it a few 2 minutes long, but nah, it's fine. So just soft so we can work our ingredients into it. And then you're gonna put it in the refrigerator after anyways in a jar, so. All right, so this one we're gonna do cranberries. So what I do is I take craisins, dried cranberries. You can do dried blueberries. You can do syrup, maple syrup, instead of, and Ron, I know you're gonna ask me, how much? I don't know, I just, however much you want in there. You know, if you want less raisins, more craisins, less craisins. I just do everything just by taste and looks. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of give this a rough chop here. See that? In the bread, I did not chop the craisins. I just threw it in the bread whole because you're gonna slice your bread, so. But in the butter, I do. I just give them a couple rough chops. Anybody got any ideas of some butter that sounds good to them? Ron, yes. Is that yes to, you're gonna ask me how much I use? I'm assuming. Yeah, sorry. Just a good handful. You know, do you want it packed full of fruits? I mean, you can do so many different things. All right, so let's bring the bowl over here where y'all can see it. I'm gonna throw some craisins in there, rough chopped. You like that big knife? It's like my favorite knife. It's really big. All right. I'm gonna mix it in there, Ron, just to see if what I like. You know, if I like the looks of it. If I want more, can't really go less if I want less. But no, I like that consistency. I like a lot of craisins in there, or just a lot of texture to it. All right, 17 minutes left on my bread. All right, so there's that. Now, on this one. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to add orange to it, but I like cranberry and orange together. It's a good mixture. So on this one, I'm probably not going to put as much orange on. Oh, butter. Cinnamon butter. Oh, yeah, that sounds good. That's what I was saying earlier, like a cinnamon honey butter. We are going to actually make, here in a little bit, we're going to do a cinnamon honey whipped butter. It's the copycat recipe for Texas Roadhouse, and that is on my website with the things that you'll need from a post I did yesterday. In between all the other crap that I post. I try to post something funny every day or something useful every day. Just to kind of get people out of this. You know, that people are staying home and all we hear is about all the cases of corona. Okay, so I kind of mixed in that orange. Can't remember if I added salt. Anyone remember if I added salt? I'm going to add a touch of vanilla because I just, you know, just a touch in this one. And we're going to add honey. And as far as honey goes, probably maybe a 1/4 cup, Ron. Well, it looks like about a 1/4 cup right there. All right, so I've got craisins, I've got orange, I've got honey, I've got some vanilla. And did anyone remember on the orange, I was talking about fresh orange peel? Yes, that's what I was saying earlier too. You can do fresh orange peel too. Now, the only thing about that, it doesn't last quite as long if you're gonna have it a while in the refrigerator. So the shelf life is a little bit less, okay? And nobody said if I added salt yet, so I'm gonna add just a touch of salt just because it kind of brings out that flavor. Even though it is salted butter. And you don't have to use salted butter if you're trying to watch your blood pressure, which I should. Okay, so there's that. Now, got another jar over here. Let's see, 15 minutes on that bread before the lid comes off. So I'm just gonna put it in the jar. These make awesome gifts. I guess I didn't taste this one, did I? Probably taste it. Awesome. I like that little bit of sweet from the cranberry. It's good. Especially on plain toast. I also put this on the cranberry bread too. All right, so isn't that beautiful? Put a cute little, you know, bow on here, or a ribbon, or some, you know how the country style, where you put, you know, like the checkered fabric or whatever. All right, so that's our cranberry orange honey. And that was our orange and honey. All right, so let me clean off this. And then we're gonna move to the honey cinnamon whipped one. All right, as I was telling you guys earlier, if you hadn't been on yet, I was asking last night if I can, once I go Facebook Live, at the end, I know that I can upload it to Facebook, but I was trying to figure out if I could download it, because once I upload it to Facebook, I can't share it anywhere but on Facebook. So I was kind of wanting to, you know, just have it a file. Just a minute. Well, when I closed out my Facebook last night, there was a download button. So I hit download, and did I know where it went? No. No idea. So this morning at 7 o'clock, I kind of went through my phone, found a folder that said Samsung, said uploaded files, and there was my video, and then there was a share. Hey, Beth. I shared it to, lo and behold, there was a YouTube button. So I'm like, oh, let's just share it to YouTube, see what happens. And I guess maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I started a YouTube channel or signed up for YouTube or something, but I actually had a YouTube. So I went into it. It's a picture of Jasmine and Larry and I at Jasmine's graduation party. If you click on that, it will take you to my YouTube, and then you can subscribe, because eventually, hey, and there's my food buddy. She's my foodie from Wisconsin. She was my friend from high school, and she likes food too. Anyways, if you click on that link, it'll take you to my YouTube channel. If you hit subscribe, I'm going to start, someone told me last night that I can actually video from YouTube, and I was saying I like Facebook Live because I can interact with you guys. But they said you can interact too on YouTube, and you can go live, and then you can just save it. So if you guys want to jump on after this, there's a link in a post on my Facebook. Just click on the picture. It'll take you to my YouTube, hit subscribe, and then I'll be uploading my pictures to there. All right. On to the copycat Texas Roadhouse cinnamon honey butter. Okay. This recipe is in a previous post, the one that has the pots on it. Okay. Ron, I always use unsalted butter, then you can add salt to taste. That's smart. I add salted butter and add salt. Yeah, I'm like Rachel Ray. I just oversalt everything probably. I don't know, you've eaten some of my stuff. Is it oversalted? You can say yes. Anyways, hey Keith. Hey Jasmine. What are you doing? That's my daughter. Love of my life. All right, so this is still a little room temperature, a little bit cool for me to the touch. So I'm going to heat it up just for a couple seconds. I'll be right back. We've got 10 minutes left on my bread in the oven before I have to take the cover off and then bake it 15 more minutes. Okay, so we are doing the whipped cinnamon honey butter. a copycat recipe, and I guess Ron, on this one I'll actually measure because I actually have a recipe for it. The other ones I kind of wing. I decided to use more of the whipping beaters for the hand beater. Okay, so this is probably going to be kind of loud. I'm sorry. Give me just a second. All right, perfect consistency. You don't want to melt it. You really... Hi, you can come say hi. Just come say hi. Justin just got up. So, okay. So on this one, we're going to do a 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. What you looking for? You need a what? The blender? Go grab it. Where are you going to... He's making a smoothie, apparently. All right, so Ron, it says a 1/4 cup of powdered sugar, so we're gonna do that. And I always like shake out my things just to make sure it's empty on the inside. Me, I'd probably add a little bit more powdered sugar and a little more honey and a little more cinnamon. So it's 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. I buy these big spices from Sam's. I've got 2 rolling racks in the closet with spices. All right, so 2 teaspoons of that. 1/4 cup of honey. I'm gonna wing this one. Ron says hi, Justin. Hey, Josh Phillips. Hey, I'm making your, you commented on Elizabeth's picture of the Texas Roadhouse rolls the other day with the butter. So that's about a 1/4 cup right there. All right, then, like I said, I add just a touch of salt and just a touch of vanilla because everyone knows that when you bake cookies, vanilla is just good and everything. All right, so give me a minute because we need a house tour. We need a house tour. It's a townhome. Did you make the orange butter yet, Jasmine? Yes, I did. And I made the cranberry orange also. I'm on my last butter. All right, I've got 8 minutes left to take the lid off. And for those who weren't here earlier, here's my first bread that I started to bake a little early so that you guys could see a finished bread. And we'll cut into that at the end here. All right, if you can, I don't know if you can hear this. Can you hear that crunch? Oh my God. It's called crusty bread. And you do it in a Dutch oven in the oven. All right, so let's see. Okay, here we go with the beaters again. Sorry. We're just gonna whip this butter. See, Justin, I'm making noise too. He's worried because he's got to use the blender in a minute to make his smoothie. All right, so let me pop these out and scrape this down and show you what it looks like. I'm gonna give it a little taste here in a minute. Josh Phillips, yes, yep, just for you. Super easy. You can go back and watch it. And like I was telling everyone earlier, I have a YouTube channel now. There's only 1 post from last night on it. And it'll get better, I swear. Get more professional, but... Texas Roadhouse would be jealous. All right. So that is so good. Go ahead. What do you need? All right. I'm going to put this one in a mason jar too. Like I said, I store them in the refrigerator like this. Give them away as gifts. The only bad thing about doing this, especially if you do things in stages, like when you cook a meal, you have so much food. So we need to get back to work, you NFM people, so that I can start bringing food to work. All right, cinnamon, butter. Put that down in there. Cinnamon, honey, whipped butter. And you can whip the other ones too before you add your ingredients if you want. If you have, you can do pecans in them. Let's see here. I added some extra recipes on there too. Dibs on the butter, come and get it. That's Josh. No, Tiffany, my first gift. Oh, I'm accepting gifts. All right, sounds good. Hey Tiffany, how are you this morning? Okay, so here's a pecan praline butter, and so this one has pecans in it, and it has honey, and it has vanilla, cinnamon, and salt. I made that one last year, and then when I gave it as gifts, I would take and put a half of pecan on, because you chop up your pecans in the inside, but then when you opened it, the first thing on top would be a whole pecan. So it was kind of cool. Then I had another one. This is cranberry orange pecan butter. So, I mean, you can add walnuts, you can add peanuts, or not peanuts, pecans, whatever you want. I will probably at some point today get on, just kind of wasting some time here. I got 4 minutes to take the lid off. I also have a Pinterest folder. Oh my gosh, Justin is in the bathroom with the blender blending his smoothie. Can you hear it? I told him he could blend it on here. Hi, Larry. Put my name on the cinnamon butter. Okay, I guess the cinnamon butter is taken, but I can make more. Ron said, no, that's mine. All right. So I have a folder in my Pinterest that has just butters. And on some of them, you can, you know, form it. And what they do is they take a piece of tin foil and put the butter down kind of in a tube shape, and then wrap the tin foil and tuck the ends in and put it in the fridge, and that way you can slice it. But I mean, you can add all kinds of, you can do a dill butter, a dill lemon butter, you can do a Cajun butter. There are so many. Justin, you okay? And there's Justin coming out of the bathroom. Come on. Gotta come out some. Oh, he just closed the door. He's blending again. Yeah, he didn't want to bother us. Oh my god, that's so funny. It's getting louder. Anyways, I'm just kind of wasting time here waiting for that bread to come out because all the butters are done. Let's put them over here so they look cool. There you go, my 3 different butters. Hello, Justin. It's not that bad. It's not that. Oh yeah, Larry says put my name on the Roadhouse butter. That's the cinnamon honey. Okay, back to the savory, sorry. Savory butters. You can Google them. I can grab some of those off of Pinterest and post some pictures if you guys think, you know, you might want to make some cool butters. But really cool, you can put them on steaks, on chicken, just any kind of flavored butter. You can throw it in the pan before you saute something, or just when I do my hamburgers on the grill and my steaks on the grill and even my pork chops, a lot of people don't know at the very end, when it's almost done, I cut just a little slab of butter and stick it on top of it and shut the grill and let it melt. And then put them in a pan, put tin foil over them, and you let them rest so that those juices, you know, and everything becomes tender. All right, let's see here. I've got 2 minutes left on that one in the oven. I'm gonna get my other one out here and cut into it so you guys can see it. Another thing that's good to have is this is called a butter knife, okay? See the serrated edges? I'm not a butter knife, I'm sorry, a bread knife. It's kind of got some watermarks on it. So this is a bread knife. This is what you cut bread with. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people try to cut bread with a butter knife or just with a plain sharp knife, but this is an actual bread knife, okay? So serrated is what you need. Garlic herb butter for steaks, yummo, yes. Are you smelling my bread, Justin? All right, I looked back and he was looking at my bread. All right, so here's my plain bread that I made last night. I baked it early so that I didn't know if I would be able to have time to get the other one done or not. All right, where am I at? I wish this computer wasn't a lag, because if you can see my computer, I'm still explaining the knife. Anyways, all right, so where are we at? Okay, let's cut into this. Listen. Larry, come get your end. Otherwise, someone's gonna steal it. Justin's got his hand in here already. All right. Nope, that's for Larry. Larry, come get it. Justin wants it. All right, so let's cut another piece here. See why you need a serrated knife? Because a bread knife would just butcher this. I mean, not a bread knife, butter knife or just a plain knife. So you kind of want to saw that. All right, so Justin, you want one? What kind of, no, you gotta come over here and put your butter on it.
Cinnamon.
Well, you're putting it on it. All right, so cinnamon butter. There's your bread. I mean, you can you see the steam coming out of it? I don't know if you can see that.
Ooh.
All right, grab a plate, Justin, or a paper towel or something. All right, there's that. The cinnamon butter is right here. You can show a picture of that once you buttered if you want. All right, so I am going to, like I said earlier, my timer is buzzing. I've got a half an hour with the lid on. I'm about to take the lid off and then we'll bake it for another half an hour. And this is the cranberry orange almond one that I made. So give me a minute. I normally just take the lid off and put it back in the oven, but I'm gonna bring it over here and show you what it looks like at this point. Oh my gosh. Now, super careful. You gotta remember this pot's been sitting in there forever and it's at 350 degrees. There's the cranberry orange almond and it's got 15 more minutes to bake with the lid off. Hey Larry, your end is sitting over there. Oh yeah, Justin's showing you the bread with the cinnamon butter on it on Larry. Here's your end. And were you like nervous?
No.
That Justin took it? He tried. All right, guys. So now I've got my timer on. I've got 14 minutes left with the lid off. If you want to hang out, you can. And I can take that bread out and then cut it and show you what it looks like. Or I can post pictures on Facebook. But yeah, look at this. This bread is so good. What do you think, guys? Mm-hmm. Larry just, Ron, Larry says it's just,
Sweet.
No fair, Justin. He's mad at you, Ron. Carrie says yum. Hey, Wendy Butak, how are ya? They're over there having a stare down with their breads, eating their breads. What'd you say? Oh, your smoothie. Yeah, Justin went in the bathroom and blended his smoothie so it would be quiet. Larry got up early and ate so that he wouldn't disturb us. All right, guys, I'm going to just kind of start cleaning up a little bit here. If you want to hang out for another 13 minutes, I can pull that other bread out and show you what it looks like and cut it. But, yeah, the best bread ever. And so easy, so easy. If you guys missed my video from last night, go back and watch how we actually made it. The recipe is in another post. There's Lair Bear. We wish we found, could smell the bread. Yeah, Carrie, my friend Patty this morning, she had to deliver some crisps to some stores. She's a baker and deliver them. She's in Minnesota. But she texts me and she's like, oh my God, my house smells so good. So yeah, the house smells amazing. But it's easy if you've got all this stuff at home, if you got that pot, you know, make it the night. I always make it the night before because it's easiest just to let it rise because we like it fresh in the morning. But I mean, you can make it any time of the day. Just know that it has to rise for 12 to 18 hours. So if you make, if you make the dough in the morning, your bread's going to be baked at night. And if you think you want to eat bread before you go to bed or get up early for dinner or something like that, but you got a minimum of 12 hours. Why are you telling me cut it? He's telling me, Justin's going like this, like I'm thinking he's telling me stop talking. Anyways, not this, cut me another piece of bread. All right, you guys listen. But y'all wish you were at my house. I need to invest in the pot. You know, the pots are really cheap, Ron. You can get that La Crusette, which is super expensive. I just butchered this piece. I didn't cut it thick enough. The La Crusette, that's how you say it, La Crusette. Oh, they're fighting over it. They're literally going to knock over my camera.
You didn't ask for one.
Would you like a piece, Larry?
No. I just wanted Justin's.
Anyways, yeah, they're fighting over the bread. Anyways, back to Ron. Sam's Club has them, and I want to say they're like $39. But sometimes they have a special, and they actually, for Christmas, I bought all the kids one. Justin, you have one downstairs, don't you? In your stuff? Yeah. But I noticed last time at Sam's, not too long ago, maybe within the last month, they actually have a 2-pack. And I want to say it's $39 too. And you can get them, sometimes they'll have a sale, $10 off. So just keep an eye out for that. But they'll have like 2 different sizes. Hey Tammy, how are you? I was looking to see if anyone posted any questions. But they have like a smaller one and a big one. I think this is a 5-quart. I'm not even sure. It doesn't say. But yeah, now here's the other thing I want to tell you about these pots is when, I make stew in them, I make chili in it, I make soup in it, I make everything in these pots. It's just a good size all around pot. And what's nice about it is you can stick it in the oven at pretty high temperatures. Obviously it's at 450. But the bottom, when you're cooking it, especially if you brown chicken, can get pretty dark and black. So what I do is, you pour some bleach in there and add a little bit of water and just let it sit, and it will turn back white again. So that's nice. So, I'll let them get, dirty like this and even dirtier for a while, and then I'll just bleach it. So, that's nice. Anyways, but yeah, Ron, there's so much you can do with it. So it's a good investment. All right, any other questions? We've got 10 minutes before I take the lid off that one. I'm just kind of wasting some time here. Anybody want a piece of bread?
Maybe.
Another one? Oh my God. Justin was so mad because last night he looked at the bread rising under the towel. I had 2 of them and he was mad. Oh, thank you, dear. I have to go. Bye, Ron. Thanks for tuning in. He was mad because the cranberry one looks so much bigger than the plain dough. And I said, it's the same, 3 cups of flour, 1.5 cups of water. And what he didn't realize is that when you add the cranberries and the nuts, the dough will get to be a bigger ball of dough. All right, let's see, we've got 8 more minutes and that bread's gonna come out of the oven. And if anyone is still hanging out, I will cut that one. If you are here, hit the like button. Go to my wall, and like I said, there's a picture of Jasmine's graduation. She's got a lay-on, and Larry and I. That's my YouTube channel that I figured out I got like 4 or 5 years ago. When did Jasmine graduate? Do you know, Justin, what year? Jasmine, you still on here? She might tell me what year she graduated.
09.
But that picture, 09?
010.
I don't know, 10, 9. I don't know if Jasmine's still on here or not. We'll find out. Anyways, apparently I started to YouTube back then, but it's the first video that I put on last night, so I'd love it if you guys subscribe to that and like this, and we'll see. I'm thinking maybe my next thing, if you guys want, teach you how to do biscuits and gravy, or my chicken salad. Jasmine's friends in high school, I used to send like a whole rotisserie chicken, that much chicken to them, and they would eat it for lunch with crackers. It's got fresh dill in it, stuff like that. So maybe I'll do a chicken salad with fresh dill one of these times. All right, let's see what we got going on. I've got 7 minutes left. I'm just gonna start putting some stuff away over here, if you guys don't mind, and I will pull that bread out for anyone that's still hanging out. Good bread, Justin? You gonna make this sometime when you're older? Or not when you're older, you are kind of older. When you're living on your own, you have a family, you gonna make them fresh bread? Depends. Well, you better find you a wife that cooks, and nowadays not all wives cook.
I cook.
Yep, Justin actually is a good cook. He's been making, gosh, he was probably 5 years old, and he was already making homemade omelets and French toast, and yeah, my kids have really become good cooks. But he always cooks for himself. He works out. He works at a CrossFit gym. And hey, if you guys need any training, he'll train you too. He's certified. So what is it, CRSM?
NASM?
NASM, NASM. What is that? National Association Sports Medicine?
Something like that.
Yeah, he's certified and all that kind of stuff. But he was actually working with Ebony and Marianne for a while when Marianne lived at an apartment that had a gym, and he would work him out. Anyways, just wasting time here. I got 5 minutes before that bread comes out. Carrie. Just 2 of us here. Okay, so I don't know who's here. Carrie and somebody. Oh, Carrie and Tammy maybe. But, all right, I lost most of you, which I understand. It was a long video, but like I said, if you want to hang out, we can check out the bread when it comes out. All right. What do you think, Carrie? Something you'll make? Carrie say, Karen, what meal ideas while we are staying at home? Well, I make like, I made a lot of soups at one point, but that was before we were quarantining. It was still kind of cold. What have I made lately? Larry made hash the other day, which is sweet potatoes, and onions, and you just cut them up and put them in olive oil and butter in a skillet. And green peppers, you can add green peppers to it, jalapenos, and hash is another thing. You can just throw the kitchen sink in there. So potatoes, sweet potatoes cut up, onions, olive oil, butter, jalapenos if you want, green peppers if you want, and then you saute it, and you just put a cover over it and just, let it sit, stir it every now and then until they get soft, and they can get kind of mushy. I noticed last time Larry had cut the sweet potatoes in big chunks, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're never going to cook. But they cooked, and the potatoes were in thinner slices, and they got a little bit more mushy, but it is called hash. Well, then at the very end, we added a can of corn just to heat it up, and then also you cut up ring bologna or kielbasa or andouille sausage and throw it in there, and that's already cooked, so you're really just warming it at the end, and just stir it around and serve it. And that's a picture of that on my Facebook too, because we had that this week. What else have I cooked? We did pork chops on the grill. Larry's been doing, we haven't done them on the grill. Larry's been doing a lot of pork chops lately, like skillet pork chops, just with like cream and mushroom soup type things and fresh rosemary. I can't even think what I've been. I cut up some chicken the other day, just winged it, sauteed some chicken with some oregano and red crushed pepper and onion, and garlic. Sauteed it up in butter and olive oil, and then I added a little cream cheese and like half and half. Added some milk because it got kind of thick, and then just whatever spices I wanted, and served it over rice. That's something quick and easy. I can't even think what I made a 1-pot dirty rice chicken this week. That recipe is also on my Facebook. That's super easy too. Just a bunch of spices. You throw some rice in there. You brown your chicken first, and then which I wouldn't do it again. It says for you to saute your ring bologna or your kielbasa or your andouille sausage, but I don't like them sauteed. I'd rather throw it in the end and heat it up. Hey Keith, how are you? Your bread recipe is very simple. I have one where it has to rise 3 times before you can bake it. Yeah, this is super easy, and listen, can you hear it? Crunchy and amazing. All right, I've got 2 minutes left on that bread. I can probably pull it out here a few minutes early. I'm sure it's done. So give me a second. Those of you that are left, most people have gone now because it was kind of a long video. I gave you the option of heading out. All right, let me grab this bread. Super hot pot. Now, the only thing is when you make the ones with the cranberries, the top can tend to get a little brown where the cranberries are. That's hot. Let me see here. So here is the cranberry orange almond, okay? So listen. Can you hear that? Crunchy. All right. Normally I'd let it sit for a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and cut it so you can see the inside. Oh yeah, Carrie, you're welcome for the ideas. And I can post things too, but I've got flour all over this now. Look at it. Cranberry, orange, almond. Like I said, you can do garlic, you can do jalapenos, cheddar, Gruyere, anything you want in these breads, olives, you name it. All right, guys, I am out. There, look at the steam. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it or not. Coming off of that. Anyways, all right, guys. Appreciate you watching. Jump on my Facebook earlier and hit that or go into my YouTube channel and then go into the video and it'll say subscribe and hit subscribe. I'd love it. All right, thanks, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.